Good evening, all. Welcome to the March 12th, 2025 business meeting of the Board of Education. We'll start this meeting with a motion for the call to order, please.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. We will have the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, anybody who's not aware of the emergency exits, they're all to the rear of you and then both off to the sides of the stage here. We will need a motion for the approval of order of agenda, please.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. We'll move on to the clerk's report. Matt?
Be it resolved that the Board of Education accepts the minutes of the business meeting held February 11, 2025.
I need a motion, please.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Public comment. Speakers will be recognized who wish to address the board on agenda items only. I think we're good for now. All right, so we're going to start. We have a lot of presentations and reports tonight, so we're going to hit it off immediately. And who are we going to start with?
Fire prevention contest.
Okay.
Welcome, everybody, finally.
Finally.
Is that October?
Okay, so the Hampton Bays Fire Department is unwavering in its dedication not only to extinguish fires, but to also preventing them within our community. This year's National Fire Prevention Week centered around the theme, Smoke Alarms, Make Them Work. I want to thank the generous support of the Hampton Bays Fire Department. The students from kindergarten through grade 6 were educated on preventing burns and fires in their homes and practicing in participating in a creative poster contest. Meanwhile, students in grades 7th and 8th showcased their writing skills in an essay contest held in their English language art classes. For each grade level, 3 outstanding winners were chosen. Along with award certificates, medallions, and trophies, each winner will be presented with a $30 gift certificate to the Hampton Bays Booster Club. But before I announce the winners, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to the following individuals for their significant contribution and unwavering dedication. We have firefighter Seamus McArdle, firefighter Joe Hernandez, firefighter Mario Lopez, Lieutenant Mike Olinu, Lieutenant Richard Joslin, Captain John Staton, and Chief Rick Neidiger. Your efforts have made homes and businesses in our community safer, and this past weekend events are a testimony to your hard work. Thank you for protecting our community and keeping us safe. So congratulations to the winners and
and insight play a vital role in promoting fire safety awareness within our community. Let's continue to work together to ensure our homes, neighborhoods remain safe from these fire hazards. So without further delay, would the following students please come forward to receive their awards. Mrs. Gorliotti will be announcing the winners from grades 5 through 8, and I will be announcing the winners from kindergarten through 4th grade.
After you receive your award, if you would please shake the hands of the board members and then stand over there by that beautiful piano that is covered for a group photo. Okay?
So the essay contest winners for 8th grade, 3rd place, Sophia Clinton.
They're coming too.
There you go.
Guys, go that way so we
You're going to shake their hand.
Second place winner, James Hillen. Yeah. First place winner, Lillian Yanes. Okay, this for Lily.
Just come see me after for the right name.
Seventh grade essay contest winners. Third place, Michaela Villalba Ramirez. Second place winner, Maeve Kelly. First place winner, Aubrey Schrage. Sixth grade poster contest winners. Third place, Catherine Bonilla Morales. Second place winner, Olivia Postiglione. First place winner, Joanna Gonzalez. Hey, Joanna. Fifth grade poster contest winners, Camila Pacheco Washima.
She gets two.
Second place winner, Lena Postiglione. And first place winner, Nikki Zhang. Hi, Nikki.
Okay, now I'm going to read for kindergarten through fourth grade. Okay, fourth grade, third place winner, Marie Angel Roman. Second place winner, Lulu Liffin. Lulu's not here. First place winner, Selena Platten. Doesn't have the right name on it, though. Okay. We're gonna go over here. Selena, congratulations. Third grade, third place winner, Tatiana Dominguez. Second place winner, Bruno Saladana. Congratulations. First place winner for third grade, Carlos Mejia. Now on to second grade, third place winner, Anthony Prada. Come on down, Anthony. Go right over here. Go over here. Congratulations. I'm going to shake their hands and go over there, okay, Anthony? Second place winner, Sophia Rivera. Come on over here. Congratulations. And first place winner, Jem Galiski. For first grade, third place winner, Santiago Quintana. He's not here. Second place winner, Adrian Pula. First place winner, Isla Blackeye. Congratulations, Isla. Come on over here this way. Now on to kindergarten. Third place winner, Sophia Campbell. She's all sparkly. Hi, Sophia. Come on over here, Sophia. Second place winner, Daisy Falasino. Hi, Daisy. And first place winner for kindergarten, Helen Perez. Beautiful. There you go, Helen. Wait, watch the picture. Congratulations to all the winners. We're going to take a quick photo with the fire department right over there.
I know. That smile.
Thank you to our teachers for running this program with the fire department for so many years. You're a pro up here, Ms. McDowell. And Ms. Gagliardi, welcome to the party. Before the fire department leaves, Chief, and your team, I want to not only say thank you for the work that you do every year with fire prevention, but you had the opportunity and you met the challenge this weekend to join with 90 other departments around New York, around Long Island, to put out the wildfires in West Hampton. This was national news, and for those of a certain age will remember how dangerous and scary the wildfires were in 1995. A group of superintendents had a meeting on Monday, a normally scheduled meeting, and the superintendent of BOCES reminded our group that just a few hundred yards from the fire line was a school. And had it been a school day, the situation for those at West Hampton Beach Learning Center could have been quite different. The Hampton Bays Fire Department has been busy every day. You hear that fire whistle go, and you know there are parents, there are teachers, there are friends, there are alumni who are going toward the danger as we go away from the danger. It's a small token of our appreciation to be able to say thank you for that, and thank you for your partnership. And in school land, you know, we think of things in terms of our programs. And so as a small token, we'd like to award the entire fire department a varsity letter. When you're a varsity player, you have to have courage, you have to have grit, you have to train, you have to be ready to compete, you have to be ready to achieve a goal, and most importantly, to work as a team to keep your teammates safe and successful. And so we know you're headed to a meeting tonight, and we wanted the opportunity to award this to you because there's really nothing more Hampton Bays than the Hampton Bays Volunteer Fire Department. Ladies and gentlemen, help me thank the fire department, please.
Okay, we will now move on to the Students of the Month. Who's going to start, Mr. Meyer? Come on down.
Thank you, Mr. Springer. So much good news to share tonight. I just don't want to do it alone, so I'd like to ask any members of the elementary school team who are here tonight, please come on down.
Come on. Not all at once.
All right, I'd like to invite up our December Student of the Month, Mia Gonzalez. Mia, come on down. Mia is a sweet and responsible and respectful young lady. Mia has shown her positive attitude, enthusiasm, and her kindness every day so far in first grade. We can always count on Mia to participate no matter what the activity is, and she's always ready to learn. Mia is also extremely helpful. She's always willing to help her classmates regardless of the tasks. Mia is always spreading her kindness in and out of the classroom and is consistently a role model for her class. Mia's favorite subject in school is reading because she likes all of the new books she gets to read. Mia's favorite special is physical education because she loves running inside of the gym. Mia's favorite memory so far this year is learning new numbers and words. Every day we see Mia working so hard using new strategies to help her decode words and solve addition and subtraction problems. Outside of school, Mia loves to play with her baby sister and her older brother. She also loves to play with her 2 cats during the summertime. Mia loves to go to the beach with her family and swim in the ocean. She loves big waves. Who doesn't? When we asked Mia what she wants to be when she grows up, she stated she wants to be a teacher just like Mrs. Schick. Mia said she likes being in school and thinks being a teacher would be a lot of fun. We believe Mia's hard work ethic, patience, teamwork, organization, and love for learning will make her a wonderful teacher one day. We're proud to have nominated Mia for December Student of the Month. There's no one who deserves it more. Congratulations, Mia. All right, moving along, our January Student of the Month, Leaf Cataret. Leaf, come on down. Congratulations, Leaf. Creative, kind, smart, and respectful are just some of the words to describe Leaf. He's an enthusiastic learner who loves to share his knowledge with the class. He is so eager to share that at times we have to tell him to put his hands down just so other students get a chance. Leaf's work ethic is amazing, both in school and at home. He's the first one to send in his homework every week and is diligent in completing all tasks at school. We can always count on Leaf to be an active participant no matter what the activity, even if it's doing a silly movement. Creating positive peer relationships is an important part of kindergarten, and Leaf has mastered this. He's a considerate friend who is constantly showing kindness and empathy towards his classmates. Leaf's favorite activity is technology. He loves getting the chance to play different games, both in school and at home. Leaf's a natural learner when it comes to math. He enjoys being challenged and gets excited when we give him a task that's only meant for him. Leaf loves animals. His favorite school memories is when Love on a Leash comes to visit our class so he can get a chance to hang out with his pet doggy friends. Mine too. He enjoys his family's adventures to the aquarium and museums to visit the sharks and see dinosaur bones. When we ask Leaf about his future, he says, "I want to be a scientist and study outer space." His inquisitive mind and sense of adventure make him a wonderful addition to our school and a positive role model for peers and teachers. We're lucky to have him as part of our Hampton-Bays family and happy to present him with Student of the Month for January. Way to go, Leaf. All right, our February Student of the Month, Sarah Halgado. Sarah, come on down. Sarah Halgado has been chosen as Student of the Month. She has consistently demonstrated strong leadership qualities in the classroom, often stepping up to guide her peers with respect and responsibility. Her hardworking nature and willingness to help others makes her a valuable team player and a positive role model for her classmates. She demonstrates exceptional organizational skills, which greatly contribute to her success in school. As a good citizen and friend, she consistently shows kindness and respect towards her peers. Her participation in all academic subjects reflects her strong work ethic and eagerness to learn. She has demonstrated a remarkable love of learning, which is evident in her enthusiasm for classroom activities and discussions. Sarah's thoughtful and caring nature toward her peers make her a role model for all in the school. She's observant and respectful of others, showcasing her compassion and responsibility, which positively influences her classmates. We are delighted to have nominated Sarah for February Student of the Month. You deserve it. Congratulations. All right, we're just going to go shake hands.
Nice job, buddy.
Great
Oh,
job.
nice job, miss.
Nice to see you. Thanks for all you do, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Meyer. We will move on to the middle school with Mr. Shug, who's very quick.
Good evening. Please welcome Hampton-Bays Middle School's Student of the Month for December, 7th grader Liam Gomez. Liam was nominated by our special areas team, Team Synergy. When I asked Liam's nominating team to share what it is that makes Liam Student of the Month, here is what they had to say. Liam Gomez is a wonderful addition to the HBMS school community. Although we know he excels in his academic classes, as a team, we feel he really shines in his special area classes. He finds his own way to participate in ways that he is comfortable, which also highlights his unique skills. He has created his own games for his phys ed classes to participate in, taught lessons about the library to his peers, writes his own songs while overcoming stage fright in ukulele. He explores how things work in technology while also questioning everything in intelligent and thoughtful ways. Liam is also actively involved in many extracurricular groups, taking full advantage of all that HBMS has to offer. You might see him with the camera around his neck, taking pictures for student council, carrying a snake around during science club, moving sets in stage crew, setting up for concert performances with Tri-M, podcasting for Owl Club, and programming robots in Robotics Club. Team Synergy feels immensely lucky to have a student like Liam Gomez. Liam, at first, when we talked, resisted to tell me his favorite subject in school at first because he said he doesn't like to pick favorites. It depends on what he's in the mood to learn about on any given day. After giving it some thought, though, he shared that he has enjoyed reading The Circuit in Ms. Barron's and Mr. Worm's 7th grade English class. Worth noting, when we met, he arrived with a stack of his own books he was currently reading outside the classroom. A voracious reader, Liam has an insatiable curiosity for learning. He thrives when presented with opportunities to dive into challenging learning experiences. I can't wait to see him and his fellow HBMS drama cast and crew members in this weekend's Frozen Junior performances. Liam also shared that he loves to volunteer and make friends through his class and club involvement. At home, when he is not reading one of his favorite books, for what he describes as comic relief, Liam enjoys downtime with Spiky, or Spike, his miniature schnauzer. He also has earned his green belt in Taekwondo, which he enjoys since it teaches him about leadership. Liam is an old soul, wise beyond his 12 years, and prefers to live in the present moment. He told me this. But when I asked him to dream with me a bit about what he's going to be doing in 10 years, he quickly responded. He'd like to be a veterinarian, training animals, or working in a zoo. And when I asked him what he'd offer his brother, who will be an HBMS 5th grader with us next year, he said this, quote, act responsibly, focus on what you have to do, and don't get distracted unless it's a matter of importance, end quote. Liam, congratulations on being named Student of the Month. We're proud of you, who you're becoming, and we look forward to following your success throughout your time at HBMS. Congratulations. Congratulations. Yeah, Doc.
Okay. For Student of the Month for January from the middle school is Alexander Sakira. Alexander is a proud 6th grader at Hampton Bays Middle School, and he has truly made his mark on our school community. From his love of reading to his passion for the arts and music, Alex exemplifies what it means to be a well-rounded student. Let's start with one of Alex's greatest passions, English. He absolutely loves reading and using his imagination to explore different worlds through books. Some of his favorite series include Dog Man and Diary of a Wimpy Kid. These stories inspire his creativity and love for storytelling. Beyond the classroom, Alex is deeply involved in our school community. He is an active member of the newspaper and media club, art club, builders club, and chess and games club. Whether he is crafting an article, creating digital art, or playing a strategic chess match, Alex brings enthusiasm and dedication to everything he does. Music is another important part of Alex's life. He enjoys playing stringed instruments and is particularly fond of his ukulele class with Mrs. Mazer. At home, he's experimenting with the kalimba and his guitar, and he is eager to continue learning and growing as a musician. Transitioning to middle school can be a challenge, but Alex has tackled that challenge with a positive mindset. He admits that getting used to lockers and the new environment was tricky at first, but his advice to future middle schoolers is simple yet reassuring. You shouldn't worry too much. It's not as difficult as you might think, and the teachers are there to help. When asked about his favorite teacher so far, Alex had a quick answer, Mr. Dabrowski. Looking forward to the future, Alex is excited to dive deeper into subjects like algebra and geometry in high school. He dreams of pursuing college studies in psychology or possibly law. Though he is still exploring his options, his motivation is clear. He wants to work hard and follow his passions to make his family proud. One of Alex's greatest artistic passions is digital art. He currently enjoys composing images using Procreate on his tablet, focusing on shading and animation. In fact, he is eagerly looking forward to an animation class that he will be taking this spring. What truly sets Alex apart is his kindness. His teachers describe him as a role model who constantly demonstrates a positive attitude and willingness to help others. He is always ready to lend a hand to his classmates and teachers alike, participation in class discussions, and go above and beyond in all that he does. Alex, we are so proud of you. Your dedication, creativity, and kindness make Hampton Bays Middle School a better place. Congratulations.
And last but certainly not least, from Hampton Bays Middle School, I'd like to introduce a rising star at HBMS, fifth grader, February's HBMS Student of the Month, Delaney Belvedere. Delaney, who was a member of our Team Inspiration, was truly an inspiration to talk to following her nomination. This is what her teachers had to say about Delaney. Delaney is the kind of student that every teacher admires and every classmate respects. She consistently earns top grades, demonstrating not only her intelligence, but also a strong work ethic and a dedication to her studies. Beyond her academics, she is known for her kindness and positive attitude, always going out of her way to treat others with respect. Whether working on a group project or helping a friend, Delaney always leads by example. She carries herself with confidence and maturity, showing responsibility beyond her years. With such a strong foundation of character and ambition, there is no doubt that she has a bright future ahead. Her drive and determination will surely take her far, and it is easy to see for everyone who has the pleasure to know her that she is on the path to achieve great success in whatever path she chooses. With her intelligence, kindness, and determination, she is bound to make a lasting impact on the world around her. Very nice. Delaney shared what she most enjoys about Hampton Bays Middle School, her time in Ms. Fotopoulos' PE class, as well as her science and social studies classes with Mrs. Schmidt and Mrs. Zahowski. Ask her about the cloud and the bottle experiment, or the Mayans, Aztecs, and Incas, and watch her eyes light up with excitement. Beyond the regular school day, Delaney is an active member of our HBMS Drama Club, earning a role in the ensemble as one of the townspeople. We can see her and the ensemble singing and dancing at this weekend's Frozen Junior production. Delaney is also a scholar athlete, participating in cheer competitions since first grade. She explained to me that she specializes in base stunting, which is the all-important teammate responsible for supporting a fellow cheerleader, bravely balancing his or her feet on Delaney's sturdy, calm hands. Delaney looks forward to playing for our school basketball team and volleyball teams in the future. And during her downtime, Delaney likes to curl up with a good book. Graphic novels are her favorite. Her advice to any new middle school students is simply this: pay attention. Good advice. And as such an active learner, right now Delaney dreams of becoming a hairstylist and makeup artist. We are so happy to have Delaney with us at HBMS and cannot wait to see all of the great things she will accomplish during her time in middle school and beyond. Congratulations, Delaney, and keep up the great work.
Thank you. It is my pleasure to introduce the December Student of the Month for Hampton Bays High School, Job Almaris. Job was nominated for many reasons, and when I reflect on Job as a student, the word dynamic immediately came to mind. Job moved to Hampton Bays from Saudi Arabia in his junior year. Before living in Saudi Arabia, from 4th grade to 10th grade, Job lived in the Philippines. Job speaks Filipino, English, Arabic, and is currently enrolled in Spanish courses at Hampton Bays. Did I get all the languages? Okay. Starting in a new school, he had to adjust to different cultures, a new language, and he had to adjust to many different things, which he found challenging, but all of his teachers would agree that Job has been doing tremendous work. Job's transcript includes advanced coursework like college, government, and economics, and AP language. You may remember Job from our November Board of Education meeting when he was inducted into the National Honor Society. Job is also an active member in FBLA and Key Club, and outside of school, Job spends a lot of his free time dedicated towards running his blog, Structured Solutions, which provides people with troubleshooting solutions for computer and technology issues. We actually spoke about how he's considering turning this blog into a social media site on Instagram and TikTok. Job plans on majoring in management information systems and has been accepted to Temple, SUNY Albany, and Pace, and currently waiting to hear from Bentley and Villanova, which we were talking about could happen any day now. He is currently undecided and considering his offers, and he would like to pursue a career in IT management. For our younger students, he had these words of advice: opportunities just don't happen, you create them by taking the first step. Don't wait for the perfect moment to start working toward your goals. Just begin, stay consistent, and trust the process. I immediately went to the gym after that. Job would like to thank his family, teachers, and mentors, guidance counselors, social workers, including Ms. Selg and Ms. Zavala, and his friends and his classmates. Once again, our Student of the Month for December, Job Almaris. Okay, we're skipping to the month of February, and you'll see why in a second. I also have the distinct pleasure of honoring an exceptional student who embodies academic excellence, leadership, and genuine passion for learning. It's my absolute pleasure to introduce the February Student of the Month for Hampton Bays High School, Alex Bermudez. Alex's academic journey here at Hampton Bays has been nothing short of extraordinary. He has consistently challenged himself with the most rigorous coursework our school has to offer. He has tackled a truly impressive array of advanced placement courses, including AP Calculus, AB and BC, AP Chemistry, AP Research, AP Literature, AP Language. He challenged the micro and macroeconomics through an independent study and received AP course credit through that. AP Biology, AP World History, APUSH, College Government, College Economics, and AP Spanish. In total, he will amass a staggering potential 39 college credits, give or take, but who's counting when you've achieved that many credits? Alex's achievements extend far beyond the classroom. He is a true leader within our community and has recently served as lead attorney for the mock trial team. In robotics, he's been our lead electrical technician. He's a dedicated member of student government and is the current president of the FBLA. Alex is a key member of this year's virtual enterprise team, and we are incredibly proud to announce that he will be representing Hampton Bays in the national finals this April at the Jacob Javits Center in Manhattan. Looking ahead, Alex plans to major in electrical engineering, and it's no surprise that he's been accepted to some amazing universities. He is considering offers from Virginia Tech, University of Miami, Georgia Tech, CU Boulder, and Stony Brook. He recently returned from a college trip to Georgia Tech, which he described as super cool and a place that offers a really great balance between city and campus life. While he's leaning towards Georgia Tech, he's still carefully considering his options, and we know he'll make an excellent choice wherever he goes. Alex would like to express his heartfelt gratitude towards his parents, teachers, and coaches who have supported him throughout his high school career, specifically mentioning Mr. Verdone, Mr. Beretta, Mrs. DeFreitas, and Mrs. Barrett, as well as Dr. Donat, who's been a great teacher and a coach. Alex, you will definitely be missed next year, and we wish you the best in your future endeavors. Congratulations to Alex Bermudez, our February Student of the Month.
Okay. All right, we're going to move on to the Science National Honor Society with Mr. Richard, Ms. Vicini. What's that?
Hi, I'm sorry, I didn't know I was going to have to quite speak yet. I did not prepare a speech, no. So I'm here to present James Morales with his Science National Honor Society. He's also part of our science research program. He's working on, if I could get it right, he's working on using machine language learning to figure out malware and on our computers, which would be great. He earned this honor by not only being a great overall student, but really excelling in the sciences, scoring 85 or better on all of his science research, science courses, and he does so much hard work with science research. So it is our pleasure to finally give this to you.
Congratulations. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Vicini, and congratulations to James and all of our award winners this evening. At this time, I would like to present 3 students that participated in the Voice of Democracy essay writing competition, which is sponsored by the VFW, specifically Commander Hughes through Post 5350. This is an essay writing competition that's offered annually throughout the country, and we've had a very strong response from students in Hampton Bays over the years. The topic of this year's essay was, "Is America Today Our Forefathers' Vision?" And I had 3 students that wrote very strong and very compelling essays that were given consideration by the VFW, and all 3 of them are regional winners, and I would like to recognize them at this time. Will Olivia Allen, Parker Molina, and Iman Khalid please come on down? Parker, congratulations. Thank you, sir. Okay, and congratulations. Guys, please off to the board, okay? Off to the board.
And just to echo Mr. Richard's comments, we really are thrilled every year to start the school year off with the Patriot Pen for our partners in the VFW 5350. They always put together a wonderful essay topic for us. This year's topic is My Voice in America's Democracy. And we encourage all students, grades 5 through 8, to participate. The contest is solely reserved for students in grades 6 to 8, but we believe it's never really too early to get them started on this process of thinking about this and planning toward this. We've also seen quite a few winners in our time. So at this time, I'd like to congratulate the following students and welcome them up here. Madison Ceballos. Denise Guachicote. Denise G. Let's go there. Denise G. Sorry, Denise. Denise Kiji. I knew she would help me. Mariana Monsalve. And last but certainly not least, a two-time winner, Lily Schultheis. Congratulations. Say hello to the Board of Education. Thank you very much.
Each and every March, I have the distinct honor and privilege of presenting the salutatorian and valedictorian of the Hampton Bays High School class of, well, this year will be 2025, to the Board of Education. This year I got something unique. I have two very brilliant students, two brilliant young men who both share the first name of Christopher. And that's a first for me. I've never had my valedictorian and salutatorian share a first name, but they do share some pretty impressive resumes. And I would like to talk about that. I'd like to begin by talking about our salutatorian, Christopher Clinton. Christopher, why don't you come on down? So Chris has earned the honor salutatorian through taking a very competitive course of study that resulted in a weighted average of 100.65. He's done that through 10 advanced placement courses. He will earn a capstone diploma at the end of the year, having completed the sequence of AP Seminar and AP Research. He is an AP Scholar with distinction. He is in every honor society we offer: National Honor Society, National Science Honor Society, and Tri-M. He is the president of the band. He's the president of our Interact Club and the co-president of Key Club. Last year, in our first very successful year of virtual enterprise, he was our chief marketing officer that took us right into New York City for the final competitions. He really has an incredible resume. Varsity tennis and track over his years in high school. His list of service endeavors is impressively long. It's a big chunk of Chris's resume. He is an ocean lifeguard at the town of Southampton. I feel safer standing here already. We are looking at a major in biology, heading down that pathway towards a career in medicine, and we've got a bunch of acceptances thus far: University of Georgia, University of Tennessee, and the University of Florida. Chris really likes warm weather and is looking to go south. But he will, some schools up north are competing for his attention, including SUNY Binghamton, Stony Brook, and the University of Miami, and we're waiting on a few others. Chris, we are so incredibly proud of your accomplishments, and very, very proud to have you as our salutatorian. Congratulations. At this time, I would like to invite Christopher Roldan, the valedictorian of the class of 2025, up to the podium. Now, some of you may recognize Chris, as he is a very important member of the cast of the Bayman Theater production of Legally Blonde. Did a fantastic job this past weekend. Actually, a good number of the cast are out here right now. Really, one of the best productions that I recall in recent history. But Chris is a very talented young man in a lot of ways, and not just up on stage. He earned the honor of valedictorian by achieving a weighted average of 100.87 across 9 advanced placement courses. When he graduates, he will graduate with the Advanced Regents Diploma with Honors and the New York State Seal of Biliteracy. Again, a member of the National Honor Society, National Science Honor Society, and Tri-M. He is a 4-year member of our Research in Science program and has done some really, really incredible work there. He's a member of Key Club, Interact. He is part of the leadership team for our high school band, 4 years of track and field, and again, highly involved in the Behmen Theater program over the years. His intended major is computer engineering. And thus far, we have a number of schools competing for Chris's enrollment, including SUNY Binghamton, Albany, and Cortland. We are waiting to hear for some pretty big ones coming up in the very near future. I know that Harvard and MIT are headlining that list, and they would all be exceptionally lucky to have him. One more thing, Chris, before you leave here. The high school faculty was pretty well in agreement that you are not allowed to leave until you get a Student of the Month plaque. So here you are, you're January 2025 Student of the Month. So enjoy that medal and the plaque. Both honors well earned. Okay, Chris?
I'll take a break. Yep. All right, we're going to take a quick break, so if anybody wants to take some pictures and whatnot, and if you would like to come back and hang around for the good stuff, by all means, but snap away. What's that?
point with still a little bit more than a month to go in budget prep. But you can see that the last time we had these slides, this was a big agenda tonight because we had no student presentations in January or February. So the last time we had this slide, we were at 2,000 going into the winter break. We're at 2,002 right now. So we're holding steady. Normally we would see a big bump at the end of January, beginning of February, that we didn't see here at this point. The next few slides are projections of enrollment, and these are unadjusted. These are not adjusted. And why that's important is because the non-adjusted enrollment presumes that every kindergartner who starts in their kindergarten year in Hampton Bays remains until 12th grade and that no one else comes in. I just carried the numbers forward. There are demographers that can figure out trends and is it an up variable or a down variable. But for our most immediate purposes, we're going to look at not adjusted enrollment. Before I do that, I just want to share what adjusted enrollment would look like, and that is last year's number. So last year, you have heard me for the last few years say that our enrollment is going down. Kindergarten has 107 students, and 12th grade has 187 students. So we're going to see a leveling off of enrollment if it's unadjusted. We're exiting big classes, little classes are coming in, but last year we had 220 or so new enrollments throughout the year. That's not counting the incoming kindergarten class. They counted. And then 220 more kids showed up, but 174 or so left at some point during the year. It wasn't necessarily 174 of those 220, but 220 up, 174 down. There's still a net add, so it just closes the gap. So if that net add is 74 and 20, that's 46. That's still less than the difference between the outgoing 12th grade and the incoming kindergarten. So the adjusted enrollment is sort of that unknown variable out there. Federal enforcement of immigration policy in the last 2 months has been a variable that we are starting to see impact. We've had some withdrawals of students and families to their home countries. And if there are other actions that are taken in coming months, that could change that number further. But we do these projections so that we can have at least a 3 to 5 year runway where we have a relative sense of what's happening and what we need to be ready for. So you can see that, we're at 2,000 students today. Unadjusted by 2029, 2030, we'd be a district that's about 1,700 students. We saw that in like 2006, 2007, when we had 2 buildings, when we had 800 kids in each building, 850 kids in each building. What that does at the elementary school, we have a decline, but then we start to see it increase a little bit. And that's really only because I carried an estimated number of 125 kindergartners. We're not having that right now, but I just plugged in 125 to say, all right, let's just see if there's an uptick. If COVID had an impact on birth rates, we'll start to see it level off in the mid 500 range. At the middle school, we're sort of steady right now, but then we're going to see that decline as 146 kid classes are leaving and 120 kid classes are coming into the 5th grade. At the high school, we're starting to see that slope. But the adjusted enrollment in the high school really is one of the higher ones in the district. And that's because we have older students, also older immigrant students coming in, and they're at the high school level, okay? So they may be unaccompanied, they may not be unaccompanied. So we'll see, this adjusted number could have a leveling out. I still think the net is going to be a decrease, not as sharp a decrease as some of our neighboring districts are experiencing. So as we head into the budget season for 25-26, like we are deep into the budget season at this point. I think that heading was on my January slide, but we didn't have the public session. The 4 goals that you've set as a Board of Education remain: to preserve reserves, Don't go shopping with your savings account. Maintain successful programs and the required staff. So it doesn't mean just keep everything. It means keep the things that are viable and that kids are taking advantage of. Live within the tax cap. We have never pierced the tax cap, and the data shows that districts that attempt to pierce the tax cap are more often than not successful. And then maintain facilities and capital infrastructure. If you ask 10 people how to spend the money, you're going to get 10 different ways to spend the money. And what we experienced in previous generations was that the upkeep of facilities was a place that sometimes had deferred expenses, as opposed to having a regular maintaining of the facilities. Since the 2012 bond, I think you have put your priorities in the right place and been able to do a little bit of everything, including expanding our faculty, providing for increased programming, and caring for facilities that look really good and are in really good shape, even the doors. The budget season calendar began with the enrollment review that I shared with you, and then department breakdown by goal. So we think big picture, we think people. Big picture, we're a human business. We don't create a product. We create humans. So there's big ticket items in the budget. They're people. Then we get down to how many pencils and textbooks and soccer balls we're going to buy. The governor's budget was delivered on January 21st. She proposed almost nearly 5% increase in public school funding. 1.4 billion of that, excuse the M, 1.46 billion of that was for foundation aid, so a 6% increase in foundation aid. And remember last year, the hold harmless districts, those are districts that receive more money than the foundation formula would traditionally generate. That's about half the districts in New York State. They were proposed to be cut. Through advocacy, it became a flat number. And then this year, those districts on Save Harmless or Hold Harmless, they're interchangeable, have a basic minimum increase of 2%. This is Hampton Bay's first year ever that we've been on Save Harmless as a school district. So we had those big years of state aid catch-up, and smartly so, the Board of Education made investments in one-time expenses because we knew that once the big jumps in foundation aid were done, that we'd get into this basic minimum increase lane, and that's what we have right now. So you have foundation aid, which is cash. It's just cash that the foundation aid formula generates for you, and it's for general operating expenses. We saw a basic 2% increase, or $253,000. In our expense and categorical aids, that's BOCES services, things you buy that you get money back on the following year. We saw a decrease of $109,000, or 5% decrease. We saw a building aid decrease of $350,000, 55% decrease, and a total of all of our aid has decreased by $207,000, or 1.4%. We have not, Larry and I have not entered a budget season to present to the Board of Education where we've started in the red in state aid. Do you want to say a few words on that, Larry?
Sure. Just to add to what Lars was saying about the expense-driven aids, the valuation of our properties went up significantly back in 2023, 2024. We went from about $3.8 billion as a school district total, community, to over $5 billion. And the way the state figures out all these aid numbers is it's all ratios and formulas. And their formulas are driven off things like, well, how valuable is your district compared to the number of students you have? So on paper, we look rich. A lot of valuation in our homes, not a ton of kids, but not a ton of kids. Break it down, divide one by the other, and wow, it's a lot of money per kid. Reality is we also have about 60% free and reduced lunch if you looked at it that way. So paper is one thing, and that's what they're driving the formulas off of. Reality is something very different. And unfortunately, this is, again, the first time Lars and I have ever started with getting less aid than we did the year before. So.
Currently, the town of Southampton has a percentage valuation system. We used to be full assessment. So when you got your tax bill and the tax bill said your house was worth $500,000, it was taxed at $500,000. It's worth that. They've moved to something less in the last few years during COVID to keep, as the market was taking off, to prevent really choking homeowners and taxpayers. So they went to, I think it's 67 or 79, or it's a fraction. So your bill might say your home is worth $600,000, but if you go to get comps, for example, for a mortgage refi, it'll show that your house is valued, or you could sell it for $9 or $1 million. So it does not work, that logic does not work in Albany. Think about Albany being a Las Vegas casino. The house never loses at the end of the day, right? So they get our valuation information and they say, wait, they're only valuing it at 70-something%. They put an equalization factor on the back to bring it back up, and then that determines our ratios. So that way Hampton Bays in the formula can be compared with Binghamton and Rochester and Southwestern in the southern tier. That way it's an apples to apples comparison. Otherwise, a town would say, we value at 5%. We're way poorer than you think. And there's no fooling the house. The house always wins. So when you bake all of this into the cake, the allowable tax levy limit, the tax cap for us in Hampton Bays is 3.2%. Raising taxes 3.2%. With our state aid as it sits right now, now the budget is not finalized in Albany, that number could change. A 3% increase on the tax levy will allow us to spend 2.1% more. Very tight budget this year. There's key drivers to this budget that get plugged in before we can even talk about how many soccer balls and pencils to buy. One of those is transportation. So special transportation in particular, kids who need specialized equipment to get to a program or to or from our building, that's a 5% increase. 8% increase in special education. That's not unique to Hampton Bays. That is a post-COVID phenomenon nationwide. I'm sure you're seeing it as well, that particularly little ones coming into kindergarten are presenting with higher needs, and sometimes that requires placements outside of the district as well. Educational technology also has a big jump percentage-wise. Some of that is to do with the regular maintenance. Some of our earliest generation Chromebooks, it's like starting your old car in the morning. Is it going to work today? You know, we have to do a replacement of that first phase of Chromebooks, desktop computers, and educational technology programs that teachers have come to be very successful with and use very masterfully in the classroom were paid for largely originally by our COVID grant. And the COVID grant ended, and so Mike and his team have been doing a great job going through user reports, really looking at each program to make sure that there's high usability, that there's not redundancy. I buy Coke, we all, when they can do the same thing, right? So it's been a very carefully structured budget planning process, but those are the drivers right now. We finalized department budgets, staffing budgets. We looked at program versus enrollment. We do have financial savings from some staff and faculty retirement. Some of those we're going to approve tonight, which individuals who have given tremendous service and very skilled service to the district for many, many years will retire. So we'll be sad to lose their value in the district. But when you talk about it in terms of budget, as we look to either replace those positions or temporarily or permanently remove them through attrition, we haven't laid anybody off. We've realized savings in salary differential. Even a senior teacher compared to a rookie teacher is going to have a considerable positive impact on the budget. Okay, so those came in the last 2 days, and so we're baking those into the cake now. Really, it's a tight maintenance budget. So getting good at the things we do, building the sustainability through our educational technology programs, our Volleyball program has been very successful. We just finished up our middle school volleyball, boys volleyball. Girls has been successful for a long time. Boys had a fun, positive first year, and so the JV program will become a varsity program next year, and we'll maintain our middle school program. When you look at how all of this breaks down, it's a 3.3% increase in our tax revenue. Other local revenue, this is estimated just south of $1 million, and then our state aid is at 1.2% decrease. Again, a tight budget at 2.1%, of $1.3 million. When you bake in contractual obligations, facilities costs, special education costs, all of that gets eaten up very quickly. Pre-kindergarten continues to be an advocacy point across New York State. This number is a little misleading because in 24-25, the state aid run says we received $97,000. We spent $97,000. We really were eligible for $418,000 for full-day pre-kindergarten. The conundrum has been space right now, and finding community-based partners that can live with the $5,400 per student rate. Our local providers, their per pupil rate is higher than that. So it can't be a scholarship, UPK dollars. You can't give a parent $5,400 or $5,700 and say, that'll cover half of it, you cover the rest. It has to be universal free pre-K. So our conundrum has been, with our great programs here in the high school, do we do more kids for less time, or do we do less time for more kids? We're working with the state for advocacy to have some more flexibility with those numbers, so that plus declining enrollment might open up some classroom space to expand and have a mixture. Some parents might only need or want half a day. Others might need and want the full day. So it continues to be on the dashboard, but no major changes to pre-kindergarten for next year. When you look, I'll go through these next slides quickly and then take any questions, but when you look at our budget to budget increases going back to 2010, we're at an average of 2.89%. So responsible spending under 3% increases on average each year. This year it'll be 2.1. When you look at how taxes have increased over that same period of time, an average of 2.2, and that's, again, remember, because we had big increases in state aid dollars, and we had made the commitment as a Board of Education, look at those two canyon years there, we made a commitment that if we were able to retain staff, compensate staff, retain program, improve outcomes, that also a priority would be that every dollar that comes from state aid is not necessarily one that has to come from the property taxpayer. Okay, so our average tax levy increase has been 2.21 this year. It'll be 3.2 this year. When you look at the share of resources, the share of revenues that are coming in, it is largely a local share because, remember, as Larry said, in the eyes of the formula, we're on the beautiful Atlantic Ocean, waterfront property, very high value land. Student need, community need, creates a need for more expensive programming for kids who might need additional resources. The state share has increased, it ticked down a little this year, and federal funding remains relatively flat at this point. Federal funding is a wild card at this time. This year's funding allocations are set, but if you look at, we're at about between 1% and 2% of available funding. That federal funding is in addition to what our budget is. So when you look at $67 million, it's $67 million plus another $900,000 in federal dollars. That's not part of the general operating fund. A couple of other items to mention on our report tonight. You heard Mr. Morgan talk about virtual enterprise. When he says the Javits Center, it's in our backyard, but it is the national competition, and about 10 schools made it to the national competition for virtual enterprise. So it's an entrepreneurial club where kids create a business. It's remarkable. We will be moving to full computer-based testing for math, ELA, science in grades 4 through 8, and then next year we'll be making that transition to include grade 3 as well. Over the next few months, we will talk about the addition of a student representative to the Board of Education. This was a law passed by Governor Hochul and signed by Governor Hochul, passed by the legislature at the end of last season to have a student representative. I'll make a presentation on that in April. There are a couple of mechanisms on how to figure out who that student's going to be, whether it's selection or interview or it's somebody who serves in a leadership of the student body or student council. There are ways and there are pros and cons to thinking about both. That member is non-voting. They are not entitled to come to executive session, but this model has existed in a number of school districts. And the student might give a report on and talk to the student councils in each building and get a report and add much more richness than I can add in hearing from the student perspective. Grade 11 leaves today. Mr. Morgan's probably still asleep. What time are they leaving tomorrow? 6 o'clock. Okay, so they'll meet with our congressman. We've been talking. Our congressman's intern is from East Quogue, and so they'll hook up with him tomorrow when they get to the Capitol. Handle with Care is in it's about a month old now. It's been operationalized. We've had 2 Handle with Cares, both appropriate, and we've trained with faculty, and Eric finished training all of the police department, the police force, and it worked as it should. You know, we had a meeting with other districts in the West that want to pilot it with different law enforcement agencies. So hopefully this is something that will continue to grow. I mentioned our retirements. We'll celebrate these fantastic faculty members, and we expect some staff members as well in June. This weekend we had the opportunity, I mentioned it when we had the fire department here, to reflect on some elements of school safety. So the fire, if that was a school day, life would look very different at West Hampton Beach Learning Center, which was right there. 300 students, many of them with mobility impairments, bringing buses that take an hour sometimes to stage in an emergency. Getting them into a fire would have been impossible. And so it caused our teams to really reflect on what we need to do in situations in our building, identifying our mobility impaired students to make sure that the stair chairs are where they need to be and that there's staff to assist there, and we don't leave anything to in chaos in an emergency. Physiologically, you need to go to your muscle memory because you can't process as fast. The bomb scare in West Hampton Beach Middle School and High School, interestingly, we learned as we're talking about the governor's cell phone ban that storage of a device in school may impact in an emergency, may have an impact in an emergency situation. They're in the yonder pouches, if I don't think that's the way we'll go, but or they're in the locker or they're in the backpack throughout the entire day, but then there's an evacuation and the backpack remains in the building, and I want to see where Ryland is, and his back, and it's still showing in the building, and I'm a terrified parent of what's going on, thinking we haven't evacuated yet, when he's already safely at the offsite evacuation place. So all of that has given our team a lot to think about and reflect on. The school safety plan is a confidential document, but those are the things we need to think about. And then finally, we were thinking about, okay, if West Hampton is evacuating all of their students, Linda at Montauk Bus had to stage all the buses to evacuate. In our safety plan, one of our evacuation sites, if we had to move everybody off-site, is Ponquag Beach. The idea being that you could close the bridge and then calmly and orderly and safely execute your reunification plan, reunifying kids with parents. Otherwise, it could be chaos, I'm grabbing my kid, but we could physically close the bridge. The only time matters is evacuating from an emergency. Once you're safe and stable and staged, you could take your time to do it the right way to keep everybody safe and close out the emergency. Well, the bridge is only 5 tons right now. Buses weigh much more than 5 tons. So in talking with Linda, we've identified a number of other sites. We don't publish that, we don't say that in public, because again, in emergency situations, we need confidential documents to make decisions, but it wouldn't be putting a bus over Ponquag Bridge. That might create a different emergency, right? So Chief Kiernan and Chief Neidiger and the others, the ambulance, are just great partners to work with. We're also working with Chief Kiernan on budget requests at the state and federal level to increase funding for school resource officers that would benefit us all. Legislative priorities in Albany. I was in Albany last week and had the opportunity to meet with the state budget director, the president of NYSIT, the state teachers union, and as well as the chairs of the Senate and Assembly Education Committee and the Speaker of the House, Niskis, organized a number of those budget and legislative conversations. Zero emission buses, school staffing challenges, universal pre-K like I mentioned, civil service reform, school safety, which is funding and staffing. If we want retired law enforcement in our schools, then the earning cap for retired law enforcement can't be $35,000, which is what it is legislatively right now. It's not worth it for them. Understandably, after working in their career. Career and technical education numbers are through the roof statewide. Kids are opting to participate in those CTE programs. If they change a couple of the state aid formulas, and we would get more aid back for sending more kids to career and technical education. It hasn't been changed since the 90s. So, and then universal school meals does not apply to us at this time, but there is a push to finish up those that didn't get universal school meals. Larry and Deb Johnson's work have made us a community eligibility school, so regardless of income, everybody can participate in the breakfast, lunch, and after-school snack program as well, and we've seen participation rise. There's concern at the federal level that some of those dollars could be at risk between the Department of Education and the Department of Agriculture, who work together on the school meals program. That remains to be seen what happens. I'd hate for us to backslide and not be able to offer that opportunity to everybody. And the Distraction-Free Schools Initiative is Governor Hochul's initiative to create cell phone-free environments for or distraction-free, any smartphones, internet-enabled devices. It's problematic in some ways. We talk about local control. I don't think there's a district in New York State that doesn't have a policy and a practice on this. In the high school, our policy and practice has been not during instructional times. The most teachers either have charging bricks that they let the kids get a free charge. Kids are always looking for their free charge, right? Or the shoe pouches or the calculator pouches, or as the kids get older, they're more mature, just keep it in your pocket, keep it in your bag, I don't want to see it. It doesn't mean we don't have challenges with it. The governor's proposal right now is bell to bell, which she defines as the first bell of first period and the last bell of ninth period. And so implementation of that, disciplining in terms of a violation of the code of conduct, what does that look like? Having parent and student buy-in to do that well, that could be a challenge as well. Some parents insist, I want my phone, and there's a wildfire that just broke out. There was a bomb threat, and while we say, call the main office, look for the official means of communication, we know that as a parent, you feel differently in an emergency, and we understand that. So remains to be seen where that shakes out with the legislature, how they amend that in the final process, but we will have to have a policy in place. Right now we have a practice in place. In the middle school, not out at all. In the high school, non-instructional time. So you will see kids using it in study hall. They'll check their phone in passing period and in lunch. They're still talking in lunch. Not every kid is lost in the device. I'd love to see more talking and more, but it's been a survivable situation for us, I think, in the high school. Would you agree, Helen? Yeah, okay. We don't see the battles we used to have, like put it away, give it here, give me your phone. And I don't think adults want to be in the position of taking $400, $800 devices either if we're now, right? So, and finally, I might argue schools have a responsibility to teach responsible use of these tools, right? That if we just ban it and it becomes taboo, as opposed to creating the self-regulation and how to not cyberbully and how to be a good cyber citizen, we're going to be dealing with the effects of it because it's just going to happen after school now. You have to learn to be a good cyber citizen. We're seeing adults not being good cyber citizens right now. Sounds like a dorky word, but you know what I mean. There you go.
What is the civil service reform?
Civil service reform, for example, we have a job that's posted, office assistant, for example, main office secretary. We have to go to the list, right, the civil service list. There could be 500 people on that list. We have to physically print paper and mail a letter to a certain amount of people. Marion's snarling because this was a big part of her career. Mail out 100 letters. So the time, the resources, the postage to get that done, then mail them out and say Hampton Bays has an office assistant job and this is the price and this is the starting date, and then would you like an interview? And then we wait to see 7 days how many people say they want an interview, and then Marion has to interview them. Electronic canvassing would be a lot easier, right?
Sounds like it.
So that's one. The second, civil service operates by something called the rule of 3. The top 3 scores you have to choose from who are interested in the job. Regardless of, with very few exceptions, regardless of how they interview, how it goes. So you can get 100, a 95, a 90, an 85, and so on. You have 2 100s, a 95, and an 85 who all say they want the job. If the 2 100s and the 95 say, I'll take it, you got to pick from one of them. You can skip 2 of them, but you got to pick from one of them. The 85 might have just had a terrible day, not be a great test taker, but have interviewed really well. It's a community member. They understand the school. They understand. They could jump right in tomorrow. If it was the rule of 5, for example, that gives a little bit more flexibility. If it was the top 3 scores, because you might, for example, have 1 100, 50 95s that say yes, and 2 90s. You're never going to get to those 2 90s. But if it was the top 3 scores, then maybe you could. And then finally, if you get no, the Superintendent's Council's final plank on this platform is if you get no candidates for the job, you send it out to 100 people, they sit, and you get no responses. Then you have to go out, and then it's fair game. It's the Wild West. Go find someone. Annie, would you like to be the main office secretary? You're going to come in. You're going to be probationary. But you're going to have to take the test the next time it's offered. And you better score in a reachable way. You better not get that 90 or 85 and I can't get you. That test could be 8, 9, 10 months down the road. You've taken the job. We've trained you. We've spent money to train you. You are remarkable at your job. No one doubted that. And as a supervisor who is paid and managed by expected by the Board of Education to be evaluating you, I say this is perfect. This works perfectly. The advocacy ask is if a probationary person is if a person's in a probationary seat for 6 or 9 months, they get the job when the test comes out, that we don't have to do the test process. I don't want to keep somebody who's subpar. So it's not in my interest to say, it's not in my interest to not keep somebody who's not good, but I've spent time, money, resources, and this person's acclimated. And to the people who don't understand the civil service world outside of it, the beloved Mrs. Culhane, who works in the main office, just got fired. And then that creates a political problem in the district too, right? No, she didn't get fired. She just bubbled 2 answers wrong on the Scantron, you know? Like, it's such an old system that it needs to be updated. And even the state understands that as well. Any other questions?
How's the playground going?
By all accounts, I was outside the elementary school today for first grade lunch and almost got mowed over on the way to the playground. So, all high marks.
I've been thinking about them in this
Yeah,
nice weather.
super happy.
Yeah, great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Blair?
Thanks, Mr. Springer. Just two things I'm going to point out. First of all, we've always been doing well to get the most state aid we can. But there are so many formulas, so many variables, and they change them every year just to keep us on our toes. We've reached out to an expert, and we've got some help that comes in. Actually, yesterday was the first day he came to the district. He works on a percentage basis. 15% of what he recovers from us goes to him. But, I mean,
Sorry, 15?
15, yes, not 50.
That's why you said
15.
Goodbye.
But just the first half hour talking with him, he's like, oh, do you have a student like this? And they describe that, oh yeah, we have a student like that. Oh, well, do you know you can also put them in for this and this and this? And I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. I'm like, that's not double counting? You go, nope, we can do that. So right away, he picked up probably $50,000 that we didn't know we could get, that we can get. So I'm really excited about that. I think that's going to help us out a lot. And then secondly, one of the things in the agenda was sort of a last minute thing. The dry well out right in front of the auditorium here, please be careful and step around it. Don't step on it because it has some problems and we need to fix it quickly. So I'm asking for an emergency resolution to just move ahead, pass the bidding rules, and get it fixed before a car or a person disappears in it. Okay? I think the heave and thaw of the winter damaged it, and now it's bad. You know, the grade is starting to slide into it, and I'm afraid that, you know, a heavy vehicle or something goes over it, it could collapse, and we don't want to have that happen. Okay? Thank you.
Thanks, Larry.
Okay. What's that?
If you want, you can consent the entire thing.
Oh, we can.
4A to 6.
7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's the entire lease.
All right. If there are no questions, we're going to do a consent agenda from 4A to 6K, unless somebody has a question. So yeah, that's a lot, but let me know if you have any questions. If not, we need a motion. This is stuff that we've gone over, so I don't...
Motion?
Nothing new. All right.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Board of Education is nothing. Public comment. Persons may address the Board of Education on any matters of interest or concern. The Board President will recognize all speakers. Time limits may be imposed based upon agenda needs. Okay, with that, then, I need a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you all
Thank
as
you.
usual for a very long and
Yes, thank you.
nice, very nice though.
Very nice.
That's right, yes.